Yo, 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 what is up, everybody out there in the world? How are you all doing? I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, an amazing time, an amazing life. Dude, listen, I just want to put this out there every single time I record I'm super thankful for you guys. Yeah. And other than that, listen, I'm praying for everybody. I hope everyone is safe during COVID-19. The pandemic here in America is still ongoing. And we are trying to do the best we can. You know, everyone's learning through this process, and we're going through it together. Um, yeah, I'm currently recording. I'm outside here at Camarillo Springs Golf Course, man, and it's beautiful out here. Um, I'm really happy to actually be recording here right now because Camarillo, California, has been under some scrutiny here lately. Um, there's a super strong conservative base here. You have a lot of older white families here, um, and there's been some remarks as far as the BLM and things like that happening, um, which I mean it's blown up all over Twitter and some of the media outlets here locally in Ventura County. Um, I do want to use that topic to kind of get our foot in the door for today's episode. And today's episode is going to be surrounding cancel culture and the pros and cons of cancel culture. Yeah, but before we dive into that, if you guys can, please check out corpsecollection.com. That's KORPSX collection.com. Help support the podcast. We're a listener supported podcast. If you don't want to buy anything, I understand. At least share the podcast, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, all that. But yeah, so cancel culture. This topic was given to me by my buddy Moses Ramirez, a very old friend, good person. And I just want to talk about that because the word in itself has now became a divisive term, right? It's almost like conspiracy theorist. It's like saying, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist," or "Oh, cancel culture." So the pros and cons. I want to go kind of back and forth on it, right? So I think it's necessary to have a culture of, to have a social culture to where we have the ability to call out what is wrong, right? Because wrong is wrong, right? And we need to be able to bring awareness to these issues. Yeah. Um, so that's one of the pros, right? Is being able to speak out against whether it's racism, social injustices, or just new social norms, right? Like let's take certain words that we use. Um, Nowadays you can be canceled by misgendering somebody, right? Which is it's cool. We should be able to respect somebody's values and beliefs, and if they wanted to be called a him, a her, a she, a they, a them, we should respect that. Yeah, we should respect those wishes. Uh, but taking that and segueing into the idea that I don't believe that somebody should lose their job, right? Because I called you her or him, right? If I was using it to purposely antagonize you, right? If I'm doing this to purposely, offend you, that's one thing, right? But if I just simply make a mistake or we're getting into a back and forth conversation and, she or him slips out of my mouth, I don't believe that I should lose my job over that. I don't believe people should lose their careers over that. Um, Twitter is beginning to suspend accounts, because of that. And to me, that's crazy. That's super crazy to me because a lot of people make money off of Twitter. They're influencers or they're business owners or they're some kind of some kind of social media presence on the platform. And just because there's a new standard, right? Or not, I don't want to say a new standard, but there's a new belief system in the culture. It doesn't mean that everybody has to believe the same way. That's the beautiful thing of being in America. You know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing about being a human being is having differences of opinions, having differences of mindsets, having differences of views. You know what I mean? Like that's what pushes and drives innovation. Um, so so along with that, you know, another con I would say of cancel culture is let me go with another pro, right? Another pro of cancel culture is it's forcing responsibility, right? Due to the strength of the social justice movement throughout the world, people who we could have never have forced to be responsible for their actions or their choices and decisions. Now they are now becoming accountable. Now we can actually affect somebody's economic income. You know what I mean? Like their economic value in the marketplace. We can affect that now. The normal person, right? And not saying that we couldn't do it before, but now it's so much easier. It's so much easier for us to attack a corporation or attack a social icon or some kind of celebrity and attack them. We have accessibility to them in a way that we never would have before. Um, and that's very powerful. Yeah, it's very powerful. But now using that pro and leading into a con, yeah, of cancel culture is that sometimes we act so quickly, right? Twitter, for example. Twitter is a really good example of this. Twitter, if something's beginning to go viral on Twitter, it will go viral and it will go viral very fast. So fast. Like it's so easy to retweet something to your followers, right? Like it takes one click. Where Facebook it takes like 2 to 3, right? Instagram, it takes 2 to 3, right? Twitter is so quick. All I gotta do is hit the little heart button, and people see that I liked it, so they see the message already, right? And then I could like it, and or I could just retweet it, and everybody sees it, or I could retweet it and leave it with a comment, and everybody sees it with also some additional context. So it can happen very quickly, right? Like those three things happen so fast in comparison to other social media platforms. So the problem with that is that we leave less time we leave less time and space for somebody to be able to reconcile. We cut off discourse to reconciliation. We cut off we cut off the ability for somebody to apologize. We take away that power for them to seek forgiveness, right? And what's the value of teaching a lesson if we don't allow this person to learn, right? Instead we are exiling people, right? Like that type of when you take away when you take away a person's power to seek forgiveness, you're just as bad as an oppressor. You're just as bad as the oppressor, right? You have to give them space to be forgiven. You have to give them space to be forgiven. Like that's our whole that like, what if we were held accountable at that sense of all the mistakes we ever made? Granted, not all mistakes are the same, but the lesson still remains. You know, I've said some things to people that I'm not quite proud of. I've done things to people that I'm not quite proud of. I've, you know, participated in activities and done things that I'm not proud of. But I sought forgiveness. And if you take away that power from me, then what's the point of me even seeking forgiveness? What's the point of me learning your lesson if I can't be forgiven? Right? there's I'm not saying people can should just be able to go around and hurt, kill, and maim, and then all of a sudden be forgiven. I don't believe in that, right? But I think after time, we should be able to look at them and be like, okay, you know what? You're forgiven, right? But cancel culture is not that. Cancel culture is exiling. We exile these people. We take away their businesses. We take away their friends. We take away their homes and their jobs. And then what do you think that does to them? What do you think it does to these people? It does nothing but make them even more mad. It makes them even more irate, even more polarized, right? So there's pros and cons to cancel culture on both sides, right? Both, I think, of equal value, right? But to me, the one thing that I want to make sure that I put out there is that there's a polarization these days happening. There's a polarization of beliefs, a an idea of if you're not with me, you're against me type of thing, which is super crazy, right? It's super crazy to me because y'all be doing some wild shit on a daily, and you let some of your friends do some wild shit on the daily, but since you don't see a problem in it, you're not canceling them, air quotes, quote unquote, canceling them. But some of your friends are doing some crazy shit, hooking up with 4 or 5 different people throughout the week. You know what I mean? Doing this and doing that and, screwing this person over and fucking that person over. You're cool with them doing that, right? And we hide behind the guise of, oh, well, if it makes them happy, you know. Nah, fam, we know what is right and wrong, right? So we can't be selective on who we are canceling and who we're not canceling, right? A lot of a lot of people got on Chick-fil-A, right? Let's just take Chick-fil-A for being a conservative supporting organization and having have donated to the Trump campaign and things like that. Like who cares, right? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who That's not something for them. They've themselves have not expressively hurt anyone. They have not, they don't have no gays and transgender allowed in our stores. They don't have a no black or minority person allowed to eat here sign on their front door, right? They don't do that, right? But you guys will line up to buy Nikes. People will line up to buy Nikes. Nikes helps support the private prisons throughout the nation. They're helping enslave people, right? But we'll line up for Nikes, right? Or people will buy Timberlands, right? Where that tree symbol on Timberland, that was supposed to be a thing towards blacks and other minority groups of people that they hung in the tree, the Timberland boots. Yeah, Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger said that their clothes are not made for minorities. They're made for middle and upper class white men. They have said that, right? Like people in the hip hop community especially love glorifying, the mafia, but the mafia was racist against blacks, Latinos, Jews, anybody who wasn't Italian. So we have to be careful when we start looking at this. When we look for absolution, we're looking to be so absolute in all of our decisions, and we don't give people room and space to make mistakes. Like you have to give people room and space to make mistakes. You got to. If not, if if not, you're either going to live in a society of liars because they're going to lie about the stuff they're doing, right? Or you're going to perpetuate anxiety because people are going to be scared to make decisions. So people have to have the space to make mistakes. Like can't saying, "Oh, you're canceled" is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, right? Like I am completely for the idea though of cancel culture where we can put something on blast and be like, hey, you can't do this. Like that's not allowed, right? Like this isn't right. But I'm what I'm not for. What I'm not for is saying now there's no path to forgiveness, right? I can't fuck with that, right? I can't fuck with that. I know murderers who are good people, who are good men, but they've taken another man's life, right? Do I believe they should have had their lives taken as well? Yes. The law saw it differently. And so that the law saw it differently, I should have the ability to see through the perspective that, okay, well, this group of jurors and this judge believe that they should be able to seek forgiveness in whatever form that they see fit. And so I have to be able to see that too, and I have to give them that space. Do I have to agree with things they say? Do I have to invite them to the barbecue? No, right? And I also can't fuck with the hypocrisy. I just can't fuck with the hypocrisy of it all. I cannot fuck with the hypocrisy. Like if I'm a if I'm gonna talk about people, oh, racist this, pedophile that, and this that and this that, like I'm gonna hold not only my friends to that same standard, but I gotta hold myself to that same standard, right? Like I can't act noble for these, headline news uh, events, but with cancel culture overall, I am thankful for it. I am thankful for all my people who speak up. I am thankful for the whistleblowers. I feel like whistleblowers need to be protected at all costs, right? Those who oversee the village, you know what I mean? Those who oversee the tribe, I feel like are the most important people. Those who keep us in line, right? Because if there wasn't some structure of order, it would all be absolute chaos, right? But to have order, we have to have chaos. Like they're not separate. They happen simultaneously. You have chaos that breeds order, and then the order breeds more chaos, right? Which then in turn creates more order. But we just can't have absolute order because then it turns into absolute chaos. Um, so our absolution, you get what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like we can't try to be so absolute with the way that we look at punishment for things such as mistakes, right? Some people are victims of the time, right? They're a victim of the time frame in which they lived in. Uh, let's take, you know, let's take Christopher Columbus, right? I'm Native American, right? And do I think that Columbus Day should be completely abolished? Maybe, right? Do do I think that we should stop teaching the history of Christopher Columbus? No. No, I don't. I think Christopher Columbus should be taught. But should the whole story be taught? Yeah. What they did, should it all be taught? Yeah. He was a hero for the Italian people. He was a hero. He's one of their great heroes. I can't take that away, right? Because during that time in which he was living, during that time period, that's all they knew. All they knew was explore, conquer, explore, conquer, explore, conquer. How did they show their victories? How did they show their spoils of war? Was with these humans that they brought from all these strange places, these slaves that they took. That's how they showed and exerted their dominance. I can't exactly be mad. I can't exactly cancel all that out for they're just victims of the time. Those decisions that we look at now, we see as inhumane. We see it as wrong, which is true, right? Because we've evolved. Our brain has evolved. Our social standards, the ways that we live, technology, everything that we do has evolved, right? Like we're talking about people who traveled the seven seas, right? With their boats being lit by candlelight, fam. By candlelight. I can get on Google Maps and see somebody's front door now. I ain't even got to get on a boat, right? We barely even have to mow our own lawns. Like, how do you think people were mowing the lawn back then, right? So we're just victims of the times, all of us, always. So I'm 50-50 with the cancel culture. There's a lot of it that I dislike, but there's still a lot of it that I do agree with, and I just hope that there are conversations we keep pushing in a direction where we call things out, we blow the whistle, but then we also give people the ability to be forgiven, right? To correct their mistakes, to fix their ways, right? To be educated on what they might see as right, and show them how it's actually wrong. Yeah. This was a really cool episode. I was really thankful to be able to speak my piece on it. I want to get a couple people's opinions. So if you guys hear this episode, please reach out to me at Corpse, KORPSX, on Instagram, and let me know what you guys think. This was really fun. I really like this. This one's deep. I'll probably do a part 2 of this episode. I think I've done one about it before. I can't remember. I've done so many episodes now. Yeah, but for everybody who's listening, thank you, and I appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing week, month, year in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful for you guys, and until next time, I'll be hollering at y'all, yeah? Y'all stay motivated out there. Bang!
Ha ha ha! Everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, this is your host, Big Corpse, and this has been the smoking section. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please, leave us a review, give us a rating, 1 through 5, a 2, 2.5, however you guys can do it. Please just leave us 1. Let us know what we can do to be better. All that, man. And if you guys want to get on the show, hit me up on my Instagram account. That's at Corpse, KORPSX. And we'll conversate and we'll get you guys on the show. If you also have the chance, please check out corpsecollection.com. That's KORPSX collection.com. Go grab a shirt, a hoodie, a hat, whatever. Buy something for your grandma or your sister or your niece or nephew. It helps keep the podcast running and helps me put food on the table. They are the sole sponsor of this show. Love you guys, and I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. Hope you have an amazing week, month, year, and life. Like I said before, I'll see y'all on the flip side, all right? Bang.